Welcome to Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast, the podcast that empowers you to turn your dreams into reality using the law of attraction. I'm your host, Papi DiNuzzo, and together we'll dive into the mindset, strategies, and energy shifts you need to create the life you've always envisioned. Whether it's health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, or spirituality, inspired by my transformative book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, each episode brings you practical tools, inspiring stories, and bold insights to unlock your limitless potential. Get ready to manifest your greatness, and let's dive in.
Give a fish, teach to fish, delivering hope. A Paying It Forward self-improvement and personal development charitable community outreach initiative. Founded, supported, and funded by DiNuzzo Private Wealth, Inc. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. Papi not only wants to help his fellow brothers and sisters in need, but he also wants to teach them how to help themselves by instilling in them positive thoughts and skills to manifest anything that they can desire. He has so many tools in his toolbox to be able to do that. And over the past few weeks, he's had such really great success speaking to groups in Orlando and Tampa. So if your organization and nonprofit group is looking for an inspirational speaker, please book Papi to speak to hear his message of hope, inspiration, abundance, and peace of mind. Papi is also pleased to announce that just a few short months ago, he expanded into social media, specifically YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, Twitter, and Facebook. So if you haven't already, I highly recommend that you like, subscribe, and share Papi Mindset Coach social media links. There's so many great videos on there, and one of my personal favorites is the video where Papi talks about, what you should do right before you go to bed and what you should do in first thing in the morning. I think that video itself has like 27,000 views. So please subscribe and share so that you can assist him in promoting his important message of hope, inspiration to our fellow brothers and sisters in need. Let's go now to Papi to set the table. Good morning, Papi.
Hey, Mikey, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to Suzanne. Thanks to both of you for putting together a great show today. I'm very grateful for you and Suzanne, so thank you both. Mikey, on the social media front, really strong. You mentioned that one video we put on. Everything, I don't put out other folks' videos. I mean, everything we're doing is organic. There's all knowledge of all time that we're trying to get out here at Papi Mindset Coach to shine universal light in our fellow brothers and sisters. But believe it or not, Mikey, on TikTok, we're almost at 100,000 views on the video you were talking about. And on another one, I think we're around 70,000. So I'm very excited about that. There was another very positive one we put out 2 weeks ago. Within the first 14 days, we're up to, I think, 22 or 23,000 views on recommendations on how to treat our fellow brothers and sisters. So again, as Mikey said to our listeners, subscribe to us, follow us, and share the information. We're growing, we're increasing our tribe. And it's the spiritual spark within me that has started a brush fire that has gone into a wildfire. And this is a wildfire of momentum, a figurative wildfire, obviously, but a wildfire of momentum, shining universal light on countless millions of our fellow brothers and sisters. I always start off with namaste. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you, to all of our listeners today. And Mikey, we were talking the other day, and you mentioned a great word, ambassador. And we're looking for, I get approached by so many individuals who are really ambassadors. So I want to help. My goal is to help every single person within the sound of my voice that I come into contact with in any way, shape, or form. And some of you will find a higher calling, and I would love to enlist you to come and join and help us to be an ambassador to shine universal light. I had a presentation, Mikey, I did a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, 3 or 4 weeks ago, with a group from South Sudan. There was fellow brothers and sisters. It was all across Africa, but there was fellow brothers and sisters from South Sudan, from Uganda, from Kenya, and from Liberia. I think maybe 1 or 2 other countries. And one of our brothers, Mikey, one of our fellow brothers was on, and he was born and raised in the Darfur area, which is absolutely just a heinous area for how human beings are treated, have been treated historically. And he moved out. I think he's in Uganda now. And he said, Papi, at the end of the presentation, he said, Papi, I've never heard or understood manifesting before, never really heard that word or even understood what it meant. He said, I've never heard or ever really understood the phrase, the law of attraction. And this was only like at the most, Mikey, a 1 hour Zoom that I did with our fellow brothers and sisters in Africa. And at the end of that Zoom, he said, Pappy, what I can tell you is I would love for you to send me out a case of your books. And I want to learn about this. And it's come through me. I feel called to go out and share this message with my fellow brothers and sisters in Uganda and South Sudan. So that's my definition of an ambassador, someone that comes through you, your subconscious mind, and you're called to this to help your fellow brothers and sisters. So please reach out to us, send us an email, contact me in any way, shape, or form. And I would love to work with you to to grow our ecosystem, so to speak, and cast a wider net all across planet Earth to all points beyond and between North America, South America, Central America, Africa, Europe, and all points beyond and between. So again, the spirit in me greets the spirit in you. I always try to give a little disclosure, and I will mention the phrases universal intelligence, universal subconscious mind, universal light, source power, and source energy. I always come to you from the very, very highest point of spirituality, pure spirituality. I never discuss religion. I never talk about religion. I'm just coming to you from a point of pure spirituality. My goal is to deliver this message to you, to shine universal light on you, and to do that from a point of pure spirituality. I am so happy and grateful now that today is a magnificent day. I'm so happy and grateful now that you and I, everyone on this Zoom, everyone on this show, has created their masterpiece today. I'm so happy and grateful now that we all have been given heaven on earth. The day that you realize what my calling is to shine universal light on you, to realize that you have true creative power that resides within you. We humanoids communicate verbally, words, and talking to each other. That is not the language of the universe. The language of the universe is non-linguistic, non-verbal. As Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the mysteries of the world you live in, and you want to understand the mysteries and understand the universe, you need to understand three things per Mr. Nikola Tesla, one of the smartest people that ever lived. He said, you need to understand energy, you need to understand vibrations, and you need to understand frequencies. So you need to understand energy, vibration, and frequency if you want to understand this world. Again, the great news here for today is you are an eternal spiritual being. There is no end to your life. You are an eternal spiritual being having a limited 3D physical experience in what I call your meat suit often. I remind you, until you get everything down, I got on the side here. Read my book, read it every day, or listen to my book and listen to it every day until you get complete clarity. Then you can spread your wings and study other topics, etc. But you can get very confused on manifesting the law of attraction by listening to 3 or 4 or 5 different people with 3 or 4 or 5 different techniques. I know mine works. I know I'm sending directly universal intelligence down through me to you to share this. And a lot of our fellow brothers and sisters have given me feedback, Mikey, that they love reading the book and listening to it. So I recommend go on Audible. You purchase the book, it's not expensive, and listen to it in the background. When you're working at your desk, you may be cooking dinner, you may be exercising, stretching out, whatever it is. Listen to the book in the background and just have it playing in the background, and you can notice a difference. And then not just my book, but some other things also that are neutral at least and or positive ideally, instead of the news, social media, all this coming at you every day. So again, read my book or listen to it every day until you get this down. As you mentioned, Mikey, I've been working on a number of presentations, and I don't want to overwhelm today's show, but just a couple I'll mention. I recently presented at the University of Tampa, excuse me, at the University of Tampa undergraduate school in their business school to their entrepreneurship class. And you learn so much whenever you get introduced to an organization. University of Tampa, first of all, is a lot bigger than I thought it was. It's over 11,000 students, and their entrepreneurship program for their undergrads is in the top 20 in the United States. And it's either number 1 or number 2 in the Southeastern United States. So these are tomorrow's future leaders of our country and across the globe. A wonderful, wonderful program they have. They wanted to have me come in to speak to their students. And again, what is a big part about being successful regarding business school, especially entrepreneurship, it's what I preach over and over again. And what I teach is your mindset. It's all about your mindset that's going to differentiate you. 95% of what you accomplish on life, 95% of what you accomplish in life is in that bottom bowl that I talk about all the time, that big circle around your head with a line through the middle, a C up here for conscious mind, and SC are for subconscious mind, a little line going down, a smaller circle down below with a B in it for your body. Your subconscious mind produces 95% of what you accomplish on earth, 95%. Your top conscious mind, only 5%. So I love the engagement that I had presenting to the entrepreneurship class for probably about an hour and a half. And then later that week, I got to present in the graduate business school, in the graduate business school, Mikey, and that was a great event. It was in the Sykes College, the Loth Graduate Center on campus, University of Tampa again. And their graduate program is in the top 20 in the country. And again, number one or number two in the Southeast United States for their entrepreneurship program. So just a great presentation. I signed books afterwards. A line that was probably at least a half an hour for students. Every one of them was asking questions. Probably 80 to 90% of all the attendees in the auditorium that I spoke in came up and had a question. They were great questions. I mean, they were really fully engaged and really wanted to learn more. So again, our young audience, the young audience that we have, the teenagers that I teach and I present to in Kenya. Another gentleman just introduced me to a group, and it just warms your heart, Mikey, to get introduced to these groups and see what's out there. This gentleman's working to arrange for me to present to a group in Liberia, Africa, and it's young teenage men who want to be entrepreneurs. And they are, we're in poverty and we want to find a way out. And we think we can do this through starting some type of business. And he said, Papi, you'd be the greatest person to come in and talk with them and increase their mindset, teach them what it is. And then after that, coach them up on how to do it. So I'm really excited about that. We'll look forward to looping back in with our audience again. But thank you so much, Mikey, for allowing me to share with our tribe, everyone who's listening today, all the progress we're making. And so much of it is because of all of you who are listening, because you continue to provide more introductions and more contacts and more positive feedback. Even if you did not provide an introduction or anything for me to speak to a group or anything. Of course, I do all this for free at no cost. And I deliver free books. I typically make a donation, a cash donation, writing a check to that not-for-profit organization. But if you don't do that, just the positive energy that you send out, never, ever underestimate. If you send out positive energy, you do it in the form of an affirmation, a prayer, an intention, and you could be praying for your fellow brothers and sisters. Let's say for a specific ailment. Maybe it's something that some of your family is struggling with. And if you offer that affirmation, intention, or prayer for that, that not only goes towards helping your family member, but anyone else who's suffering with that same affliction. So never forget that. You're touching more lives than you can ever imagine when you put out good thoughts, good vibrations, good intentions, positive emotions. So thank you so much for everyone for tuning in today. And yeah, Mike, you're off to a great start. I'll hand it back. I'll toss it back to you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, everyone listening today is an ambassador to you, whether, they're spreading your message, making contacts for you. And I just want to say congratulations on the success that you had in Florida. Again, I highly encourage everyone, go to the YouTube channel because there's this awesome reel that Papi has on there. And you could see these young faces that are all there. They're listening to his message. They're engaged with him. He's giving them books. They're signing. You can see they're asking questions. And right on the background is the PowerPoint. And one of the slides that were so powerful on there says, do you believe in yourself just 1%? Because I believe in you 100%. And all these young kids ready to go into the future who might not know exactly their direction, to know that somebody believes in them 100%. I mean, that's just so encouraging. And I highly recommend to go on the YouTube and you can see this for yourself, any social media platform, really. But it's just encouraging to see. And I just really enjoyed watching it. And speaking of encouragement, the weekly email that you send with 2 concepts to live by is very encouraging. Remember, repetition is your key to manifesting. And with so much negativity around some of us, Papi wants to provide us with positive and encouraging messages every week. And he's going to share 2 of his concepts to live by with us right now. Go ahead, Papi.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Yeah, Mike, it was funny too. After I did the presentation, I had maybe 3 dozen or 4 dozen students lined up who wanted to come up for me to sign the book. And every one of them had a very good question and very good thoughts. It was like, I call it popping popcorn. Everybody's energy was so good and so high. And one of the professors came in later on. He had helped me set up. I brought some materials in the day before to get everything set up in a room. And he came in later on and says, Papi, what the heck was going on in there? And I said, what's that, professor? He said, I never seen anything like that. He said, these students, they're 19 to 22 years of age, whatever it may be. He said, they were lined up almost out the door. He says, what the heck were you doing? What were you talking about? And I told him, I said, but yeah, they were definitely engaged. And what happens, Mikey, with our fellow brothers and sisters as well, is the same thing that I did. It was not me communicating with anyone in that audience or any audience linguistically or verbally. This is a communication from my subconscious mind to their subconscious mind. And I prepare for this. I started doing intentions on this so that I can interact as well as possible with my fellow brothers and sisters and provide this positive message to them. And an awful lot of them receive it, and they receive it with open arms. So the concept to live by, yes, again, it's just a great lineup. Again, the first one is so powerful. The first one, Mike, you have lined up for today is TMIT, TMIT. And that's just an acronym that I created for 3 most important tasks. One of the questions that I get asked, and if you read my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, I have 2 chapters dedicated to action, because you need to take action to be able to complete the physical object back of what your thoughts have generated and originally created. It is not just sitting on your couch eating potato chips and just daydream all day long. You need to apply yourself with efficient action, inspired action, with action that comes from a place of love and excitement, and that's what completes your goal. So I often get asked, Mikey, well, Pappy, what do I need to do? I mean, because people are really nervous about that. They're like, I don't know, do I need to work 12 hours a day? Do I need to start working Saturdays or Sundays, take a second job? And the answer is no to all of that. No, 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 no. What ideally, what I came up with to help our brothers and sisters is, it typically does not end up being more than 3 most important tasks per day. You do your evening review and preview the night before, where you review your day. How did I do on that day's 3, 4, 5, or 6? I say TMIT and SMIT, SMIT, for 6 most important tasks, because it's never typically even 6 or heaven forbid more than that. It's usually 3 or 4 most important tasks in a day. And don't overestimate these tasks. It could be driving something that needs overnighted, and you either drive it there or you arrange for it to get picked up, and you overnight a package to someone, or you go to the post office. It could be an email. It could be a phone call. It could be a text message. Of course, it could be a face-to-face meeting or a virtual meeting, but this isn't a heavy lift where you're chopping down a tree, where you're digging out a big hole in your backyard with a shovel all by yourself. But these are your most important tasks. So you do your review for the previous day and you preview tomorrow. So tonight, you can do whatever works out for you, before dinner, after, whatever works out. But sometime after your work day, you wind down, take 10, 15, 20 minutes. And this is great time where you're not only reviewing your day, but you're going through sort of your shopping list. And I say it's like going through your favorite supermarket, and you're picking out all your favorite items. So you want to be thinking, when you went through your previous day, when you went to this day and going through tomorrow, you want to say, I want to know what I want. I want to be looking, because so many of our fellow brothers and sisters, Mikey, I started helping them, and I'll ask them, tell me what you want. And they'll be like, Pappy, I don't know what I want. And I'll say, well, one of 2 things here. I says, I can't help you if you don't know what you want. And more importantly, how are we going to know what to reach out and ask the universe for if you don't know what you want? So go through your day and start to identify what you want. You see someone and say, I really like the wealth that person has. I like their finances. I want that. Now, don't make the mistake that human beings make, because we're all flawed as human beings. That's why we're human. So don't look at that person and say, well, they're doing very well financially, but they're on their 3rd marriage and their health is not good. So if you've got money, it's bad for marriage, and or whatever we associate with. You can look at any human being. And there's one of the age-old researchers, Mikey, I quote over and over again, that behavioral scientists can look at folks that go into a presentation, and that presentation is 45 minutes long or an hour long. And you take a look at people after the presentation, you ask them to take notes, and one person, here's the presentation, same exact presentation, they have 1 full page of handwritten notes that are all positive. That's what they heard that speaker say. The person presented 1 full page, handwritten positive notes. You look at other folks' notes that they took, they've got 1 full page, but Mikey, it's all negative notes. They didn't like this. They thought that was stupid. That was a horrendous idea, etc. So again, we want to be looking at, what do you aspire to? Go on your shopping list, like you're walking through the supermarket. I like the health of that person. I want to be healthy like them. I like the happiness of that person. I want to be happy like them. I like the finances and wealth of that person. I want to have finances and wealth like that. You deserve this. Maya Angelou say, if I can quote Maya Angelou, basically, to oversimplify it, you have to ask for what you want. Biggest rule in the universe to get started is you have an entire army at your disposal, but you must ask. You have to ask. And you can't ask if you don't know what you want, because you're asking for your want. That's your goal. So your three most important tasks, and then you just roll into this. You're reviewing your previous day. Tonight, you're reviewing your day. How did I do? You look at your first task, your most important task. Say, man, I got to tell you what, a month ago, 2, 3 months ago, I would have not done that well in that situation. But I got to tell you what, today I nailed it. I crushed it. And that's such a good feeling. You start to build up your self-esteem from the greatest level because you're actually doing it yourself. You look at the next most important task and you say, good, good, good. 3 out of 4 things that occurred in that meeting, phone call, whatever it is, I really nailed A plus. But that one thing, okay, I see what it is. I'm going to come back and clean that up. You come to another one and maybe you didn't do so well on that. And you say, you know what? It was going well, but then one of my limiting beliefs kicked in. And then that sort of cratered the rest of that meeting, the rest of that phone call, whatever else it is. So again, you will be able to improve. What you said earlier, Mike, and I preach over and over again when I teach my fellow brothers and sisters, it's about getting 1% better every single day. And we're all not going to get 1% better every single day. But if you can get 1% better 300 days out of the year, and you get out your yellow pad, your legal pad, and put a line down the middle and a plus here and a minus there, you got 300 lines here, 300 on the plus side, only 65 on the negative side. You are improving yourself beyond your wildest imagination is how much you're improving. So take your time, unpack your day tonight, take a look at your day tomorrow and say, what are my 3 most important tasks? It might be 4, but just to get organized and even identifying those 3. Then, Mikey, we'll do 2 of these today. The next concept to live by, and I get so excited about these. These are so great. The next one is 2 most important days of your life. So I talk about this all the time. The 2 most important days of your life, the 2 most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you figured out why. The day you figured out why. You have to be here to make something happen. So the day you were born is number 1. And in a tie for number 1, the 2 most important your days of your life are the day you figured out why. And we often refer to that as our purpose. And we hear so many of our fellow brothers and sisters saying, and I get asked all the time, people bring it up in conversation, Pappy, I feel like I'm just floating around. I don't understand. What's my purpose? Why am I here? I'm making money, but I don't feel like I'm whole. I feel like I have a hole in my life. And to understand our purpose. So one of my directives in my message to all my fellow brothers and sisters is what I'm here for is to get you to remember. You came here for a very, very specific reason, and not a voluminous, enormous, but a little list of reasons why you came here, what you wanted to accomplish. And the more you get in contact and in harmony, in alignment and in flow with your subconscious mind, the more this will come to you and come through you you'll be guided towards your best and highest use, what you came here to accomplish. And when you start to operate in that flow, you'll never work another day in your life. You will never work another day in your life because you'll be doing what you love doing. And don't worry about what you're picking right now. You'll be led. If you present yourself to the universe, if you present yourself to universal intelligence, universal subconscious mind, universal light, source power, source energy, if you present yourself honestly and with a humble heart, you will be led to the best and highest answer every single time. I guarantee you. I guarantee it. So the 2 most important days, the day you were born and the day you figured out why. I couldn't help you with the day you're born, but I'm here for number 2 to help you figure out why you're here, to get you to remember. And this will be in a tie from one of the most glorious days of your life when you coming to and embrace the reason why you're here. And again, my fellow brothers and sisters, once you figure this out, you'll never work another day in your life. Once you find your calling, you're in pure harmony, alignment, and flow with the universe. Be the happiest day of your life.
Well, that's exciting to live up to. I agree with you 100%. This is my favorite part. Like, I love the concepts to live by. You talk about popping popcorn. Like, I think you can do an entire show on one concept to live by because it leads down to so many interesting things and just so many great tips. And I do agree that the TMIT has actually helped me a lot because sometimes in the morning I might feel overwhelmed, but if I can preview my day know what I need to do, and then at the end of the night, review it, I feel accomplished. And it
Yeah.
helps me figure out my why, like what I'm working to. So those two concepts work well together. So
Beautiful.
that's a tool in your toolbox that you can have. And we mentioned the tools earlier, and I know that you have a lot of them. And you're going to help us with manifesting the law of attraction with your coaching tip today as well. What coaching tip do you have for us today?
Yeah, the affirmation, Mikey, I'd love to share with our fellow brothers and sisters today. And again, we always start off our affirmations with I am. And when I handwrite this out, I obviously capitalize and am. I always do capital A, capital M. I am so happy and grateful now that, always in the present, now that. And what I like to share today, Mikey, is I am so happy and grateful now that I want the same for my fellow brothers and sisters as I want for myself. And this is that video I was talking about, Mikey, that I did. It's 2 minutes and 22 seconds long. And it really sort of exploded out of the chute, so to speak, that I know we've got like 22,000 views the first 2 weeks that it was out on YouTube. And I'm very, very happy with that, how well it's been received by our fellow brothers and sisters. And it all starts, Mikey, we came here for some simple reasons to build off of some basic building blocks. And what I do, Mikey, is with my teaching, I start off with manifesting the law of attraction, and I spend a lot of time with folks on what it is, because you have to understand what it is first. And then I get into part two, manifesting the law of attraction, how to do it. And then after it's how to do it, once you can get what it is, the big picture, then how to do it, the big picture, then I start drilling down on coaching and techniques. And that's some things we're starting to get into today. But I could tell you, Mikey, I always get back to base building. I played football growing up in college, high school and college. And it gets back to what we call football blocking and tackling. You can get to all these fancy things you want to, but any good coach will start off camp every year working on all these basics. And as the team veers off a path during the regular course of the season, the coach will over and over again bring that team back to the building blocks, building the base. And when I talk about building the base here is the most important thing that you've come here for, that you're on planet Earth for, is to love yourself. It all starts with you loving yourself, In a tie, literally in a tie for that, is loving your fellow brothers and sisters. You came here to love yourself and love your fellow brothers and sisters and to help them and assist them in every way possible. We're going through a big shift, Mikey, to a new earth. And the big shift to the new earth, if you want to talk it on our way to the fifth dimension, but we look at fear, doubt, worry. We look at poverty. We see fear, doubt, worry, poverty, illness, violence, wars. These are so abnormal. Fear, doubt, and worry are abnormal, not normal. Poverty is abnormal, not normal. Illness is abnormal, not normal. Fighting, acrimony, violence, wars, abnormal, not normal. So we start off loving ourselves and loving our fellow brothers and sisters. We don't have to worry about someone else coming and taking our stuff or invading us, whatever else it is, unless we bring that in your thoughts. It cannot happen. You cannot be mugged by a mugger unless you invite that in through your thoughts. We all manifest everything in our lives. We manifest everything. And people say, Papi, you don't understand. I get it. You understand a lot. Papi, you don't understand. I got things in my life and there's no way I've manifested these things. There's no way, absolutely no way. I would never manifest that in a million years. I said, well, my fellow brothers and sisters, let's talk about this. Let's go through what we do. And they're telling me about the positive that they're thinking. Well, it could be that they're starting to get to the point of affirmations, intentions. They could be doing it through prayer, whatever they're most comfortable with. And they're telling me, like, Papi, this is what I'm doing here. Okay. Now, how about your subconscious mind, your paradigm, your software operating system, these limiting beliefs that are baked into your software operating system? I say, I'm here to eradicate the virus that's in your software operating system that resides in your subconscious mind. That's what I'm here for, to get rid of it. So now your limiting beliefs are in there. And when I start talking, again, remember, our fellow brothers and sisters, for every 5 thoughts that the average human being has, 4 of them are negative. So I start talking to fellow brothers and sisters, that's great. These are the positives you're putting out there. What are your limiting beliefs? I'll start saying, Papi, oh man, I got that thing with one of my parents. Oh my goodness. It's like, and that's like cats and dogs. And I got this, and my boss at work. I feel like I'm coming up short as a spouse or partner, parent, co-worker, whatever, all these, and you got all these negatives. And when you are thinking anything and you apply emotion to it, You're manifesting, you're creating that. So let's think about this, Mikey. I call what we're thinking about, these positive things this individual is thinking about, is blue. They're sent out to the universe, fifth dimension or above. Let's say it hits between the fifth and the 11th dimension, just to keep it simple. And it's a firework. Boom, we have a thought and a firework goes off. Now, if we have a thought and we apply emotions to it, that's like the 4th of July. That's what we want. We want to manifest our desire, a purse, a coat, a car, a partner, a new home, a new job, a promotion, whatever it is, love, whatever it is, faster. It's not like a contest, but better and faster by applying emotions to it. That's the secret sauce. So by thinking these blue thoughts, which are positive, then let's call the negative thoughts red. Send all these blue messages up, send all these red messages up. You're thinking negative things, you're applying emotion to it, you're manifesting that negative thought. So what do we get, Mikey, at the end of the day? People come to me, Pappy, I never manifested. This is ridiculous. Because you know what they have, Mikey? They have purple. They'd say, I never asked for purple. Never, Pappy. I never asked for it. I don't like it. I never asked for it. I'm not manifesting this. I don't know how this is getting in my life. Well, you're putting out red and you're putting out blue and you're getting purple. That's where it's coming from. So think about it. Believe me, everything in your life, and it starts with building this base, and it starts with loving yourself, and it starts with loving your fellow brothers and sisters. So what am I saying here in this affirmation? I'm so happy and grateful now that I want the same for my fellow brothers and sisters I want for myself. I am so happy and grateful now that I treat every person I meet as if they're the most important person on earth. That's what you want to do. I'm so happy and grateful now I treat every person I meet as if they're the most important person on earth, starting with myself every single morning. I'm so happy and grateful now that I never sit in judgment of a fellow brother or sister of mine. You will never manifest anything positive and come anywhere near your best life when you are sitting in judgment of your fellow brothers and sisters. You are so far out of harmony, you're so far out of alignment, and you're so far out of flow, you don't even want to take a look at what you're sending out to the universe. We live in a thought world within a perfect and infinite thought universe, all operating under perfect and infinite universal laws. And these universal laws, my fellow brothers and sisters, you are in the game of life. That's what you're in right now, the game of life. These universal laws are the rules of the game. You would never play in any game, let alone a game of life and death, that you did not understand the rules. So these universal laws are the rule of the game. The law of energy, law of perpetual transmutation of energy, the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of cause and effect, law of karma, the law of compensation, the law of gratitude, the law of faith, the law of as above, so below. Understand these laws, start to learn about them. They are dictating everything in your life. And I say it's the exact same thing as gravity. It doesn't matter if you understand gravity. It doesn't matter if you believe in gravity. Gravity is omnipresent. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It's operating whether you understand it or you believe it or not. And these universal laws are exactly the same way. So thank you, Mikey. That was really a good door opener there to some wonderful information to share with our fellow brothers and sisters.
It really is. And, what a selfless affirmation to have too. And it goes along with your video about the do these 4 things. Like if you do these simple things to another brother and sister of yours, you say hi to somebody, they're going to say hi back. You smile, they're going to smile back. You're not just making them feel better, you're making yourself feel better. Because you just feel better when you treat somebody the way you want to be treated. That brings us to the part of the show where we get to ask Pappy some speed manifesting questions. If you have a question for Pappy, just go to the website and click on the Ask Pappy link at the top to submit your question. And today's first question, if we have time for more, but the first one is, will my manifesting techniques to succeed change over time?
Yeah, Mikey, that's great. Let's do 2 questions today, if you don't mind, because I'm a little bit over as I'm prone to do. So thank you so much for your patience. And as you said, Mikey, a lot of these questions, there is no shortage of questions when I present when I'm physically presenting in a room to anyone. As I said, there was, 3 dozen plus probably college students who came up. Every one of them had a question. I did that presentation in Orlando, Florida, to Orlandopreneur, to a room of entrepreneurs, 189 people in attendance. I mean, it was probably an hour and 15-minute line afterward. Every single person had a very specific question. So we've got an enormous data bank of questions to draw from. So the first one, Mikey, that you've posited today is, will my manifesting techniques to succeed change over time? And yes, they will. There's no hard, fast. In the real big picture, what I'm working on with you is to develop a manifesting lifestyle. This isn't a get rich quick. It's not overnight. It's not a quick fix. This is where you're taking your life and you're reducing your negativity by 1% per day, another percent, and or increasing what's positive in your life by 1%. And you control all this. Doesn't matter where you're at, what continent you're on. Universe has guaranteed me over and over and over again, Pappy, every one of your 8 billion plus fellow brothers and sisters can have what they would consider to be prosperity. And so let's take it from where we're at and let's 10x it up. And once we get there, let's 10x it again. Once we get there, let's 10x it again. That's what I call your faith goal, your 10x goal. So how your manifesting techniques change over time. I mentioned earlier, Mikey, and I rotate through this. We're all evolving. We're all changing. We're here to further express, expand, increase, and grow. And you'll go through different cycles. So there's times, Mikey, when I'm going through, it's just vibing with me to do more affirmations, or I'll do predominantly affirmations. Then there's times it'll come through me to do more intentions, and I'll do predominantly intentions. Then there's times for prayers and predominantly that. Then there's times where I'm blending them together, certain times of the day, an affirmation, intention, a prayer, or a mantra. Something makes more sense, adding more or less meditation to the mix as well. You don't overthink this. Just let it flow through you, and it will be obvious as far as what you're doing, how you express your gratitude. Sometimes you're doing things verbally. Some things you're writing them out. Some folks feel very strongly. It's very powerful for them writing out their gratitude in a journal. For me, it's a lot more positive visualizing it and verbalizing it than it is for me writing it out. We're all different. There's no right or wrong. So just open yourself up. What feels good when you get into your daily ritual, you basically want to accomplish, as you want to win your morning, as I talk about all the time. And if you win your morning, the probabilities are you're going to win your day, because the law of attraction, you start off with the smallest thing when you first wake up. I'm so happy and grateful now. Today is a magnificent day. What were you thinking previously in your life before you said that? The very first second you woke up, that is very positive. And like attracts like. By you starting off with that, you're already attracting something positive to you, versus waking up and, oh, today's a Tuesday. This sucks. Oh, I hate Tuesdays. You're starting to attract negative into your life right then and there. Worry, doubt, fear. And the universe is not trying to be rough on us, Mikey, but what the universe, how universal intelligence takes us is, if we have fear or worry or doubt, the universe says you truly don't believe. That's what the universe is telling us. You really, truly don't believe. You don't believe in this wonderful, universal, awe-inspiring gift that I've given you that's within each of us, all 8 billion plus of us. Everyone has it. Creative power, true creative power. In your subconscious mind, you possess access to all knowledge and all power of all time. So you access it again differently. You'll rotate through these, but again, affirmations, intentions, mantras, prayers, meditation, visualizing, verbalizing, writing it out, a lot of different ways. And there's no right or wrong way, whatever speaks to you. When you start to get in harmony, you start to get in alignment, you start to get in flow, your subconscious mind will direct you as to the best way to process.
Right. So manifesting is just very personalized. It's kind of like
Yes.
what's best for you. It's like a huge buffet though. And you and I worked at a restaurant before. There's a lot of like things to choose from, and you just got to pick and choose what's best for you. So
Yeah, the
thank
buffet,
you
or
for that.
walking through that we're walking through that supermarket, Mikey. I mean, and what happens, Mike, our brothers and sisters, one of the biggest things, they feel like guilty. One of the biggest things that I hear, Mikey, is, Pappy, I just don't feel worthy. I don't feel worthy, or I don't feel like I deserve this. And these are limiting beliefs, Mikey. The universe has no limits on us. We are not to feel guilty, not worthy, inferior. I don't have access to this. This isn't for people like me. None of that whatsoever. Just like you said, Mikey, it's like you're sitting in front of the largest, most beautiful buffet. As you go through that buffet, you can pick out the favorite foods in each category that you would like. That's what the universe is offering you, exactly as you said, Mikey, with that buffet analogy.
Exactly. It doesn't, everything's going to be different for somebody else. And it goes
Yep.
back to what you said about your affirmation too. You actually have to love yourself before this could happen. If you're feeling negative about yourself, they're not going to change in your favor. So,
Exactly.
um, the next question is, what is the core principle behind the law of attraction?
Yeah, this one, Mike, and I remind our fellow brothers and sisters, I mean, some of these things seem so basic, But, hopefully I've impressed on all of our listeners today how important it is to build your base, and not just building a base, building just some paper tiger or whatever have you. This is building a real base, and each brick, each block that you put in building your base, you believe in your heart of hearts for it to be true. So just understand the law of attraction and just thinking over in your mind over and over again, like attracts like. Like attracts like. That's why the phrase focus on what you want in life instead of focusing on what you don't want is so powerful, Mikey. If you focus on what you want, it will be brought unto you. If you focus on what you don't want, it will be brought unto you. You attract both good and bad. Whatever you really, really want, you want it. You thought the thought and you're applying emotions to it and high emotions. You really want it. Whatever you really, really want, you are going to receive. Also, what you think about and apply emotions to, whatever you really, really don't want, you're obsessing over something that you don't want to happen. Whatever you really, really don't want, it will be delivered unto you just exactly the same way through your thoughts and through applying your emotions. So never forget, think of this every day. Like attracts like. Like attracts like. And the simplest way to think of it, I tell everyone, Mikey, is you, my fellow brothers and sisters, everyone within the sound of my voice, you are a magnet. It's plain and simple. You are a magnet and you attract to you what you're thinking, what you're feeling. You attract that to you, what you're thinking and feeling, what you offer up your intentions and affirmations for. This is what you attract to you. Don't ever use any negative self-talk. Oh, there you go, Dumbo. Oh, you're such a loser. There you go again. Oh, who would ever like you? Who'd ever love you? Nobody will look at you twice. You're never going to amount to anything. There you go again, making the same mistake. You'll never get that. You never, ever, you're going to manifest these things. You can manifest anything. You reach out to the universe, honestly, with a humble heart. You apply a thought, and you have a thought, and you apply emotions to that thought, and you have created it. You complete the physical object back of it, and it is yours in your hand. If you can think it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. So the law of attraction, just commit this to memory. Like attracts like, and just say to yourself, I am a magnet. Life like attracts like, and I am a magnet. Never forget that, please.
Yeah, we need a magnet attracting all these really positive things, but we also need a filter in our brain to just get rid of all those negative thoughts, just put them somewhere else.
That's our
But
canceling and reject. Yeah, canceling and
yeah,
rejecting, Mike.
just
You're right. That's
get
so
rid of
important.
them,
Yeah.
filter them out. Exactly. Um,
Yes.
Going back to the beginning of the show, I know that you recommend reading a page a day of your book, Manifest Anything That You Can Imagine. But there's also another technique that you recommend too, is just going and reading a quote from the beginning of each chapter. And I know this is probably one of my favorite quotes today that you're going to share with us.
Yes, and I tell folks, Mike, even when they first get my book, I say just go through. I have a couple quotes in the preface at the beginning, and just go through and read the 2 or 3 quotes at the beginning of every chapter. I will guarantee you will have a very, very good idea about the content that's within my book, and I will guarantee you that your energy level will be higher. You'll be at a higher vibration after you would just take 15 minutes, maybe 10, but let's say 15 minutes to read through just the quotes in my book from start to finish. You'll be energized hearing our fellow brothers and sisters, all nationalities, all races, all creeds, all colors, all continents on earth, the success that they've had through manifesting through the law of attraction. Yeah, I love the quote today, Mikey, because the magic all happens in our subconscious mind. And the one quote, as you said, it's one of my favorite in the book. And I'm just talking about myself or trying to relay this to you because it's not do as I say, it's do as I do, how I've actually used this in my life. And this is my quote. I have in my subconscious mind what I believe is the greatest gift on earth, and I call it Papi's magic lamp. I believe you have your own magic lamp in your subconscious mind as well. And it is my purpose on earth to guide you in how to use it to manifest successfully. Aladdin's magic lamp only granted him 3 wishes, while Pappy's magic lamp and your magic lamp and your magic lamp are granted unlimited wishes by universal intelligence. There is one catch, though. Because the universe was created, lives in balance and harmony, the magic lamps the universe entrusted in us and you and I are programmed to take action on both positive and negative suggestions from ourselves, from others, or from any other source. Learn how to use your magic lamp to manifest anything you can imagine and guard it with your life. Guard it with your life. Yeah, it's just such a powerful, I think it explains so much, Mikey, just in a few sentences in the quote. And that's, of course, a quote from me, from Papi DiNuzzo in my book. But again, when you read the book, just read the quotes. I think you'll be energized just reading, even if it's one quote from every chapter. I truly believe my heart of hearts will energize you.
Absolutely one of my favorite quotes. And what a great way to end the show today. And I wish all of our listeners a wonderful day. So if you're new to Papi Mindset Coach, be sure you're signed up on papimindsetcoach.com to receive Papi's free educational emails and get access to upcoming live events conducted by Papi to help you manifest the health, wealth, and happiness of your dreams. And just one more reminder to like, subscribe, and share Papi Mindset Coach on all of your favorite social media platforms.
Thank you so much, Mikey. Thank you, Suzanne. Wonderful show. Namaste.
Namaste.
That's a wrap for this episode of Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast. Keep those dreams big and your mindset unstoppable. Take one step today toward the life you're manifesting, because you can create anything you imagine. If you can think it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Visit papimindsetcoach.com for more resources and follow us at Papi Mindset Coach on social platforms for daily inspiration. If you love this episode, share it with someone ready to transform their life. Until next time, stay focused, stay positive, and keep on manifesting your best life. See you soon.